Recording in progress. afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. And we are very excited to have you here as we explore various practical ways to modernize your teaching experience and make managing your tuition center easier. So, my name is Emilia from e-Learning Minds, and I'll be hosting this session. And in just a moment, I'll be passing this floor to B, our senior product specialist, who will take a deeper look into today's topic and share real examples on how you can improve teaching efficiency and student engagement using modern classroom tools. But before we get started, here are just a few quick notes. You can post your questions anytime in the chat box or in the Q&A box, and we will go through them during the Q&A session later at the end. And do not worry, this session will be recorded, so if you need to, for example, you need to leave halfway during the webinar, we will send you the replay link right after the event ended. And if you experience any technical issues, or if you feel that the slides are blurry or you cannot hear very well, you can just drop the message in the team chat, and we will assist you. And with that, let's welcome B.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm B here. So today I'm going to share with you about a tools. So after so many years, right? So we have been hearing, or we ourselves have been participating tuitions since we are small. So many years we are using traditional ways of tuitions, but after this recent year, where you can hear there's a lot of technology out there, then how actually technology can help you as a business owner or as a tuition teachers to improve on your teaching process, or so-called managing process. So there's a tools I share with you. It's called Classing. So of course here Classing is not just talking about tools for you to have a live sessions, but it's also a tools to transform the way of you teaching from a traditional ways, where students just listen and they're just receiving the knowledge, until now they can have more fun way, more interactive ways, and more trackable way in learning. So of course, here is a lot of times where we're talking about traditional ways of tuitions, right? It comes a lot of the challenge where the live sections is not trackable. You as a business owner, you can't just go into the class every time where the teacher have the class. But if you're not going in, then how actually you know what is happening there? Or teachers, you as a tuition teachers, how actually you know your sections is the students learning well or not? That's the biggest questions. Because all these times throughout the traditional ways of the tuitions, we only get to see the result by the end, or the school exam, or you run the test. But how many times that you can run the test? Can you run it every day? That's take out of a lot of the teachers' effort, right? You need to prepare the exams, you need to mark, and you need to discuss. Then if we just keep all these exams until the end, we keep all this tracking until the exam, then that will be too late. Because students already miss the parts that they do understand. But if you want to catch up, do your class still need to go on? There are new things coming to the students. Then how they catch up the old things while they are receiving new things? That's the challenge part. So of course today's I'm going to show you how Classing actually can modernize your teaching process. After the pandemic, all these online tuitions comes out, some before pandemic, a lot during pandemics, And when it comes to after pandemics, people tend to back to traditional. But always, as a business owner, as a teacher, you always want more students, right? Then where does all these students come from? Within your area, can you still have more and more students within your area? Or within the 30 kilometers around your tuition center, can you have more? Or you can see a lot of tuition centers, they're opening branches around Malaysia just to increase the coverage. But with online, you can easier get different coverage. You can, at the same time, you have students from Johor, you have students from Penang, even Sabah Sarawak, cross over the sea. You still have students from there. That's the sweet part about online. But yet, there are challenges happens. When we talk to our teachers throughout years after pandemic, we realize that teachers, yes, there are teachers that want to do online, but the challenge is that they don't want to do online by decreasing their teaching quality. They still want to enhance on the teaching quality where they have the communications with the students, they know what's the students doing, as well as they know how's the student performing by their facial, by their reactions, all that. But if coming to online, how we can track on all these students' performance, student behavior, that's the question part, where it makes a lot of the teachers that decide still back to the traditional way. That's why here we're going to talk about the tools that can enhance the teaching while they're doing online. Of course, if online can work, offline definitely you can apply the same things. So although today's my focus is focused a lot on the online teaching, but a lot of the concept, for example, blended learning, for example, flipped classroom, all can be applied for fully physical or traditional kinds of tuition as well. So of course, here comes the challenge that we found out when we talk to a lot of teachers. Actually, teachers, they talk about consistency. Because tuition centers, right, you don't just have one teacher to teach every subject. Or even sometimes you have more than one, or you have 2 to 3 teachers, or those who are opening branches, very good for you, but you have teachers teaching same subject all around Malaysia. Then how you maintain the consistency? Some even say that, I want these teachers to teach my kids. But why? Because they found that teachers that can teach better. But how we justify so-called better? Is this better kind of teachings can be duplicates to someone's new to the center, or they new to the teaching industry as well? Can they quickly pick up whatever that the good teacher can do, so it can apply to every student? So your center is not just the teacher is good, it's your center is good. Can it be duplicable? Can it be replicated to anyone who just join and teaching the same subject? That's the question part. Of course, another part is about the engagement, even to traditional kinds of tuition as well. This still happens. So just imagine, do you have a student in the same class that's very shy? They're shy to talk. They're shy to ask questions even they don't understand. I believe there are always such students, right? Because they're shy is not because they don't know how to talk. It's just they're afraid when they ask some things, people look at them different. People think they are stupid or what. But coming to tuitions is for them to learn. We always have such kind of students. Of course, active ones, you never need to be worried about that, because anytime they have questions, they will just shout out already. But we need to take care of those who shy to talk as well. Of course, for online, you are far away. For example, Sabah Sarawak, you can't just see them in the face, right? So you need to know how actually we can capture all these questions from the student side. Of course, other than that, reporting is a very important part, yet it's very challenging part. Because when you enlarge, when you have more students in your center, which means you have more students, report need to be prepared. Which means you will need more people to handle that. Because based on the traditional tuitions, I believe a lot of the tuition center, they still use traditional manual ways of tracking. Even if they have some system, after teachers do the marking, they still need a person to key in all the data into the system, where you still need a people to work on that. Is there any other ways that can fasten this process? So other than that, also about the quality of teaching. So throughout all the discussions, we found out it's almost similar. Let's say if we want to enhance or enlarge their student size, always have a question about how we can maintain on the teacher quality. Let's say we want to hire more teachers, then how about the teacher training part? Or I want to use tools to do what tools to choose. Or I want to do tracking. What kind of tracking can be done? So this is basically what we're going to share today. It's about the ecosystem. Not only just about the challenge, we also found out actually the ecosystem in the teaching and learning environment, what is needed. For example, for teachers, they deliver. Always during the beginning of the class, teacher always said, I like two-way communications. If you have any questions, you can directly ask. Or we can ask after the class. But how many students do that? Not too much, right? Especially when they start receiving the knowledge, they tend to be more passive. They're just receiving. But students learn through doing, not just listening. They need to be able to practice as well as they need to apply. That's the ways they do the learning part. So same for the teachers, they have different classes, same standards, some is same standards but different classes. Because class too big, cannot handle that much at the same time, that's why you break the class. Then how to be consistency? How can be personalized? So-called personalized, because different group, they have different learning style. They have different learning speed. So how the teacher do the personalized, it becomes a lot of job that the teachers need to do. And about the enhanced engagement parts, where when it comes to students adopt, when they adopt new knowledge, there is technique that need to apply and they need to understand. So how the teachers going to ensure the student understand? As well as when they learn to apply, they need to do assignment, they need to do homework, they need to have tests. So all these things, how can the teachers easily let the students have all these kind of learning activities? Now, of course, the most important part, when it comes to management, what are the data from? How you can capture the data, as well as when you capture the data, where this data come from. For the live sections, for the times when the teachers do the teaching time, are we able to capture the live sections, or are we only able to capture the result? Because sometimes students, yes, maybe they learn, but when it comes to exam, their mind get blank. They have the stress there. So how we actually capture and align for that? There are different students in your class, right? So how actually we cater for different class? So of course, management, you also need to understand how's the teacher performing, right? How's the teacher do, or is there any parts where these teachers will need further improvement as well, so they can teach better? So all these things are the data that needed from the management side. So when it comes to this part, there are tools that needed to do. So when we're talking about this part, when we're talking about the ecosystem, we talk about what are the things that need to be done throughout the whole teaching and learning process. Start from preparing. Teacher not only preparing what materials to deliver during the sessions, they can also prepare the materials for the students to learn first before the sessions. This is very obvious when it comes to standard 1 or form 1s. They are from different kind of background, from different kind of preschool, different kind of school. When it comes to the same class, it becomes very different. How we align the students' understanding on certain topic. Can teachers prepare as simple as a 3 minutes kind of materials or videos to align students' expectations? So when they come to the class, they know what is going to happen in this lesson. In these first lessons, I need new people. I meet new people. I meet new teachers. So what I'm going to learn in this first class seems to what happens after. After they learns, what is happening going to be next? We're always talking about students, when school times, we're talking about students need to read your textbook first before you come to class. But how many students do that? Do you do that? You ask yourself. When our time as a students, do we do the pre-learning? I believe a lot. No, right? We only do the revision, so-called revisions, after the class before the exam start, right? So this is the part where we can align with the students. We get students to pre-learn first, and we need to track if the students study on that, if the students understand on that. I will show you some of the example later, some of the demo sections during the demo later. So how actually this class-in software can track all this. But next, we comes to the parts where teachers do all the magic. It's the live sessions, where teachers comes in, they start teaching. This is the part where the teachers need to have the interaction and engagement parts, where teachers, I believe for traditional, there's not much to talk because teachers have been doing this for years. But when it comes to online, especially during the pandemic times, teachers suddenly need to go online. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to teach either. But now after pandemic, is there some things that we can adapt or make changes so that teacher can move, or so that teacher can blend traditional and online way together with the help of the tools? So this is the parts where the teachers needs to have the interactions, need to have pool, for example, and also get the students to work on the knowledge, apply the knowledge. And all these activities you can see in the world that we can get feedback, discussions, and observation. We can even let the students to do on the spot and teacher observe their work. Though somehow we do that, we give paper to students, then they start answering. Then teachers start walking around, right? And look at the students, how you do, this is the problems. Then we explain that. But online, can we do that? Let's say if we use back the times when we use during pandemic, we use Zoom. Can you do all this observation? Or normally how the teachers do? Is every student understand? If you understand, type 1 in the chat room. That's very often happens. But class-ins do have so-called collaborations tools that students can work on that. So after that, we're talking about after the class, where all these times is the homework happens, the tests happen. So in the platform itself, we can even set a test after every class. So the system can preload the questions and the answer in it, and the system will help us to mark the paper automatically. So teachers, it won't have become a burden for the teachers, and the teachers only need to see the final result. So in the next class, teachers can start the discussions before they start on new topic, or before they continues on something new. But students need to understand what is teach before. So after the post-class, we need reporting. I believe parents always want to understand how their kids doing, right? So all these things need to be done, as well as the management also need to know throughout the years how many students is in my center and how well the teacher teach, how well the students improve. Do they have any improve on their result? There's all the things that need to track time by time, not throughout the end after the exam. So these are the whole systems in this class-ins platform. It can support the whole teaching and learning process itself. So of course, after that, we will be talking about some sample for you to have a look. Just now we mentioned about some pre-learning materials, right? So this is basically a place where we have all these activities happens. It's a simple learning management system where teacher load all the materials in. We can file it, we can arrange it. Lesson 1, Lesson 2, Lesson 3. Topic 1, we can base on topics, what students going to happens in each topic. Not just coming to the class, but there are activities for you. There are some discussion or knowledge sharings from the student side. So for example, let me show you the real apps, how it's going to look like. So this is the apps itself. So in this apps, it's going to have a lot of class. So I can go with my sample today, a mathematics class. So in this mathematics class, we can preload some materials for them to start discuss. Let's say mathematics, there are some assignment first. So what you have learned last week, do you understand it? We can have assignment, we can have tests. So throughout the tests, we can also track how's the learning, the students' participation so far. I have 2 students here, have all these 2 students participate, have all these 2 students submitted, or do they face any challenge? So when they face any challenge, immediately they can go to the chat here and ask teacher, what are the challenges that they face? So immediately they have a chat room here to talk. The chat room is not about the during sections, it's about the pre and after. Just like a WhatsApp group, you chat with teachers. The teachers chat, answer the students what is happening here. So of course, assignment can be put in the same place as well. And I heard a lot of teachers that say, let's say if I want the students to do assignment, I need to inform in the WhatsApp group. Or even for traditional tuitions, I heard this as well. So even teacher give the homework in the class, yet teacher need to give another copy in the group chat so their parents know do the kids got homework or not. So that all this need to be tracked. But let's say if put in the WhatsApp, it becomes very messy. Because WhatsApp, they will ask questions, they will chit chat here, they will also like put some notifications for students. Let's say next week Deepawali, what Monday Deepawali, right? So the class cancel, or any holiday, the class cancel. So all these things need to be informed, and the WhatsApp groups become very messy. So all these things can be standardized and can be arranged nicely in the LMS here. So after that, when the students have studied, after the lessons they have do the homework, they can submit the homework as well. So we can see from here, at the bottom here, you can see that's actually a review. So in here, students can just submit their homework as easy as they take a picture and send to teacher. So teachers can take a look on what they submitted, what they have written, and they can do the marking here. This is correct, or maybe this is wrong. Or even the answer very good, I can give a trophy to them as well. It becomes more interesting, not just correct, wrong, correct, wrong. We can have more fun things to show. Or let's say if I want to correct the certain parts of this equations, I can just highlight to them, this one is what? This one is sine cos is what? I can just write down the notes for the student as well. And after that, I can just give the students marks, how well do they do, or even I can returns for the students. Let's say there's a lot of mistake done, and these mistakes shouldn't be happens just because of the miss out all these things. So in here, we can still ask for revision. So after we have done all this review, I can just give the marks to the students. And all these marking things, it will be recorded. So you can see from here, this one last time they has asked for revisions. All this progress will be saved, so that you can know how's the students' learning behavior. So of course, after this, we can see a learning report as well. So in here, we can have a total report of the students to see how well they do. What is the total performance so far? All this can be tracked easily by the system. Of course, when we back to here, so in here we can actually see how's the student performance. Students, they can see themselves as well. Not just waiting for the teachers, they can see themselves how my performance as well. Parents can also see through the platform how's my kid doing as well. So all these things can be done within the platform itself. And what can be done here, we can also see the competency rate based on the teacher's rubric. So all this can be done by teacher settings, and teacher can design the whole teaching and learning process. Not from now, you can see not just one way. Teacher prepare, send, then students submit. We can have more things to be done. But of course, this one is more towards the before part. So from here, not only teacher monitor students, management, you can monitor teacher as well. How's the teachers so far? How many classes she have done in this month? Which are the classes that the teachers focus on? Time by times, we can just go in and have a look. But let's say if for the normal online sections, can you just easily go in? You will be notified. Or let's say if for the traditional ways, sometimes you can just see the the management that they stand outside the door, have a look, what is going on there. Am I right? But you can't able to see through the whole sessions. But in classrooms, because everything can be tracked, we can even record the live sections, so things can be monitored after. Things are tracked, student behavior are tracked. So not only that, this is also a very powerful system, because all the activities that I showed just now, right, it can be easily duplicated for others use, same subject, others teachers use for different classes, or even same teacher, same subject, I have more than one class, I have 2 to 3, for example, maths for Form 1. I can just easily duplicate the activities to others. And while doing the duplications, we can also do some customizations, because different groups, they have different understanding. At the beginning, I mentioned, right, different groups have different learning speed. So maybe some ones that they are slow learner one, I can have some booster activities for them. You need to do more, or I have a more details kind of basic for them to understand better about the homework, how you can do the homework. All this can be done. Of course, next, we come into live sessions. Live session is not just about teachings, especially for those kids that born recently. They are very good use of the technology. They prefer more technology kind of the learnings, not just listening to the teachers. But I heard that I even get asked by the students how to use all these features. They saw a lot of features there. Then how to use all these features, how they can become that they listen to the class but more interesting, more things to do. I have a sample video, a short sample video for you to have a look. Actually, you can see there's a lot of tools you can see from here. So here's a video itself. It's one of the sessions that we have done previously. So this is the collaborations part where we can get every student to participate, to do collaborations during the sections. So students can just put in the pictures, they can just move along, they can just put in their ideas. So it's not just about putting in. They are doing research, they are doing converting what they understand into practical during the class. Let's say if from this part, teachers found out, there is some parts I think the student misunderstand. Immediately I can align with the students how actually this should be. We can even have poll, or we want to have a discussion with the students to let them share about their thoughts. We can get everyone's. We can use the system. We do have randomizer. We can use the system to let the system select the students. So not only those students that are active able to view, but also those who are shy, it can be selected by the system as well. So everyone is equal in the class. This is only talking about traditional class. Let's say if someone that's doing online, far from the training center, they can still get to participate. So a lot of times when people don't like online, of course students like online so they don't have to travel, but parents don't like online is that they feel like giving the sections online doesn't have that kind of fun effect. So you can see from the video as well, awards can be given to everyone after they participate, or they can have a leaderboard systems to get everyone to compete themselves. So students learn more active, not just by receiving, they are more proactively to go and show themselves, show their work. At the same time, because they have the urge to show themselves, teachers can easily notify, is there any gap there? Is there any missing parts where the students need to align again before we go to the next sections? So let us back to here. So other than the sample that I showed you just now, if you see my screen here, you notice I have an empty part on this side, right? So actually from here, this is not just showing a screen, not just showing your slide, but also a workspace where you can adjust on your slides. You can write on it. For example, back to maths, I can write down the equations here. For example, ax plus bx plus c equal to 0. So I can start the equations here. I can continue to do the explanations from here. Based on different kind of language that different kind of subject that the teachers do, all this can be easily aligned. All this can be easily flow. Let's say I want it to be on the right. Then I have my face on the left. It can be designed as well. So even if you notice here, I have our company logo here. It is customizable as well. So the background that you're seeing and my back here is a customized background that we designed for our branding purpose. You can do the same for your center as well by the support of this platform. Of course, let's say if you want to continue the next questions, I can continue to write the second questions here. There's a black box that you can keep scrolling until you have done your class. So of course, after that, evaluations. Not until the end of the class yet, not until the exam yet. Evaluations is talking about we want the students to view back what you have learned today. Do you still remember everything? Based on study, students focus during the class is around 40 minutes, around 30 minutes to 40 minutes. But now, by the help of the social media, kids also call adults, everyone's, our attention level gets shorter and shorter. So with this short of the attentions, can students absorb everything throughout an hour in the class? That's why replay is needed. A revision is needed. So in class-ins, we can have all this, even we can have feedback, auto-graded quiz to enhance on student knowledge. Or if they are shy enough, even they don't dare to tell the teachers that they don't understand the topics, they can put in the evaluations, they can put in the feedback for the teachers or in which part they don't understand. They can write down the notes so that they can ask questions after the sessions. Not just after the sessions, then I also don't know, I also forget what I want to ask already. So when it comes to next sections, more things don't understand. So all this is within the system. When they end the sessions, they can view back all the recordings, all the playback, all the materials that the teachers share, so that to enhance on the students' knowledge. Now after that, this is basically what classing can do. We have live sections, like the one you're seeing now, is basically a video conference tools itself, just like Zoom, Teams, Google Meet, is a live sessions, where at the same time we have all the things that I mentioned just now. We have the cloud service to show my materials. This is the cloud, where all my PPT, all my materials is stored here, or I have a toolbox, all the tools I can just grab from here, or even I have pen, I have text, I want to share pictures, all can be done here. So even students, they can write down their notes, they can screenshot the page, write down their notes, what they don't understand, and ask later. So teacher will be able to see as well. So whatever I'm doing just now, whatever I'm showing you just now, all can be tracked at the back end of the classroom system. So of course, after that, talking about management side, we want to do the audit on the teachers and audit on the students. So during the session, how does participations as well? How the students' behavior? Do they actively participate, or they always daydreamer? So a lot of times, physical you can easily see lah, students looking at you, but their eyes is like do not go where already. Their mind do not go where. But when it comes to online, how we can track on that? By all these activities. Do the students is an active learner, or they are kind of passive learner? For active learners, we have different ways of teaching. For passive learner, we have different ways to get them understand the topic as well. So this is where all this data can help the teacher and the center to understand students better, to deliver the class better. So not just about teachers, it's about the tools that you use to enhance on students' learning experience. Let's say if you want to make some digitalize, you want to modernize your things, but how you can do the duplications for every different teachers by the help of the tools. Now after that, evaluations is a part be very important, because evaluation and feedback is a part where you understand not only by result, by the feeling as well, by the learning experience as well, by the teaching experience as well. Let's say teachers, they found out, there's certain students, they always couldn't understand well. So shall we move them, or is there any ways that we can have to help these students, these particular students? Or we can just have a dedicated sections for these particular students to boost him up. Because all this data, we can't just get from exam. We need to get from everyday's learning behavior as well. So all this feedback is very important to grab all this information. So of course, this is a quick one about what classing can do. Just now, I believe a lot of question is being typed in the chat rooms. So if you still have any questions, we almost come to the end. Now is our Q&A sections. So yeah, if you have any questions, you can type into the Q&A box or in the chat box. My colleagues will help me to show your questions to me. So yeah, so now we are entering to our Q&A sections. So okay, when we go with the chat room first, chat box first, so to what extent can we upload and manage our own learning contents rather than relying solely on live sections? Okay, so all these materials, right, or all these teaching activities is actually teachers can do it based on what you currently practice. It's just you can just screenshot or scan it and upload it, scan in PDF, or you can just capture a pictures and put it into the activities that I showed just now. So the activities will be this one. So in this part, you can just easily upload different kind of activities. You can upload pictures, you can upload slides, you can upload even Words, Excel, any kind of format, it can be done. You can upload that, then students can access to the materials based on the type of activities you create for them. So of course, talking about the materials you use for teaching, you can use as easy as the slide. So this is the slides that I just prepared in PPT and I just upload to ClassIn Drive. So for the chat room, is there any other questions? So else we will go to the Q&A. Yes. How does the mobile apps or mobile access in ClassIn compare to desktop experience? I would say the experience not that much, but I always suggest teachers use the PC and students phone you can use lah. I would say it's just phone because the screen is smaller ma. So sometimes they couldn't see clearly, or they couldn't interact well. So normally I would suggest PC or tab, but ClassIn apps can be installed in any device, Mac, Android, Mac or Windows OS, the Apple OS or the Android, both can be done. PC, phone, or tab, all can be installed ClassIn. So all these activities depends on how big your screen is, because it's touchscreen and everyone can interact. Let's say because your phone screen is just that small ma, your finger is almost, your hand is almost your phone already, then they couldn't interact well. That's why always a PC will be ideal. Tab can be done as well. Phone still can be done, but because of the size of the screens, so it will reduce a bit on the experience. But in terms of the features, how well they can interact, that well is the same. So next one, we will go with how easily can teachers replicate or reuse their previous course or lesson templates. Yes, this one I will say within few clicks. So in ClassIn itself, we have a features called Teacher In, where this one we can easily duplicate the materials. Whatever you have uploads, you just need to upload the first times, then you can easily duplicate to create year by year, time by time, class by class. So of course, after that, you can do the customization or so-called personalizations based on different class, different situations, students' learning progress, all that can be done. So next is what options does ClassIn provide to track engagement during live sections? Okay, this one they have two parts. I would say they have two parts because ClassIn do have teacher view and admin view. Teacher view will be in the apps there. Just like I mentioned, we can install in PC or tab, phone, that one. There's a apps itself where teachers and students is required to join the apps to join the class. From there, we can track every student's learning progress. Let's say we want to go with more details. We want to know how's the behavior like, how well or how many times the students interact, or what are the answers that provided by the students. We do have an admin view that we can open from the browser. It can go very details. Even like how long is the student's camera open times, how long the student go on stage to participate, all can be tracked. Depends on how details you want. I would say every activities that can be tracked as well. So what features in ClassIn help enhance learners' collaborations? That's a very good question. So this question, I invite you to my next sections where we can have the live demo for you. Because today is more towards sharing you about the concept about this platform itself, what can this class-in do? But let's say if you want to have more understand about the collaborations part, about the interactions and engagement experience, later at the end of the session, we have a QR code for you. You can scan that QR code and book our times for our next experience center, experience sessions. So that's the times where you can directly dive into class-in apps itself. We will share you how to install or how to participate, so-called all these engagement features in class-in itself. Because a bit hard to show you just by videos or what, because this is experience things, you need to experience it. That's why those who ask these questions, remember, stay until the end. We have a QR code and a link for you to register that sections. That will be the best. If you want to bring your colleagues, you are welcome. You want to bring your teachers, you are even more welcome, because teachers are the one who teach. Yeah. So that one I will keep you to the next sections to answer you what are the features that we can do. Of course, there are a lot of features we can do, just share a quick sharing with you. They are including, we have breakout rooms. By not just break into rooms, everyone can put in their activities, they can put in their idea. We do have a scratch board, we do have a collaboration board for everyone to participate, or we ask them to reply individually. Each ways can be done. So yeah, remember to register later. So next, in what way does class-in enable personalized learning path tailored to individual roles or performance? This one I will say it up to the teachers. This one, because it's still back to the teachers, the ways that teachers teach. It's more towards class-in can have the reports. Class-in can track all the learners' behavior and the learning progress so far, so that based on the progress, teachers can design the activities itself. Because class-in is a platform to host all the learning progress, all the learning activities, but it's not so-called enable personalized path or what. It's not auto-design. It's based on teachers can, based on the topics and the learning progress so far, is it acceptable, or there is other ways to enhance on the students' learning. And I always believe this is always the professional part for the teachers. So because of time, I think there might have more questions, but I was unable to answer right now. But yeah, for the next sessions, we can have a sessions that's dedicated for you. You can bring your teams so that we can have a deeper, we can bring you deep into class-in. So whatever I'm showing just now is, I'll say only like 40 to 50% and just showing only. But experience parts, this is the platform, a very good platform for you to experience yourself. So that's about my sessions, sharing session today. So yeah, I will bring it back to my colleagues to talk about how to register about this session itself. All right, thank you.
Our solution unites learners everywhere. Starting with pre-learning, instructor will prepare their material before starting the class. Participants get notifications for classes, tasks, messages, and instructor announcements, so they always know what's going on. When class already started, participant already prepared to have discussion. With class-in, instructors can log in and start their classes instantly. Remote participants can wave and interact with everyone, enjoying real-time engagement that feels just like being in the classroom. Online participants enjoy a more engaging and practical learning experience. Features like the randomizer help increase participation and make activities more interactive. The poll and timer features help instructors measure the engagement of both online and in-person participants, ensuring remote learners receive the same information as those in the classroom. Classin rewards both online and in-person participants for each activity. For group discussions, Classin can create breakout rooms for each participant. Both online and in-person learners can work directly with their group members, while the instructor monitors all groups at the same time. This feature is especially useful for group activities and presentations. What makes our learning experience unique is our smart tracking camera, which keeps the focus on the active participant during open discussions, brainstorming, and sharing sessions. After class, the instructor can give each participant a rating and comments to track their progress and encourage self-reflection. They can also review their own progress, identify strengths, and spot areas for improvement. Lastly, participants can provide feedback, monitor progress, and replay missed lessons on Classin, which combines online and in-person learning for an interactive experience. Contact us at eLearning Minds for more details.
Thank you so much, B, and thank you everyone for joining today's session. And before we end, just a quick reminder again for everyone that the link to register for our Experience Center has been shared in the chat. And do not worry if you cannot fill up right now. We will send it to you also right after this webinar ended, alongside the replay of this event. And we really appreciate your time and hope to see you again in our next session. And have a great day. Thank you.
Our solution unites learners everywhere. Starting with pre-learning, instructor will prepare their material before starting the class. Participants get notifications for classes, tasks, messages, and instructor announcements, so they always know what's going on. When class already started, participant already prepared to have discussion. With Classin, instructors can log in and start their classes instantly. Remote participants can wave and interact with everyone, enjoying real-time engagement that feels just like being in the classroom. Online participants enjoy a more engaging and practical learning experience. Features like the randomizer help increase participation and make activities more interactive. The poll and timer features help instructors measure the engagement of both online and in-person participants, ensuring remote learners receive the same information as those in the classroom. Classin rewards both online and in-person participants for each activity. For group discussions, Classin can create breakout rooms for each participant. Both online and in-person learners can work directly with their group members, while the instructor monitors all groups at the same time. This feature is especially useful for group activities and presentations. What makes our learning experience unique is our smart tracking camera, which keeps the focus on the active participant during open discussions, brainstorming, and sharing sessions. After class, the instructor can give each participant a rating and comments to track their progress and encourage self-reflection. They can also review their own progress, identify strengths, and spot areas for improvement. Participants can give feedback, review their progress, and use Klassen's replay feature to revisit key points or catch up on missed lessons. Our solution unites